Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, I'll explain to you a little bit on what's going on with my situation and what led me to do this diagnosis. So behind me, I have a 2007 Nissan Titan. This procedure would be quite similar for pretty much any Nissan vehicle and a lot of vehicles in general, as the ABS sensor system is normally quite similar between vehicles. So the main reason why I started diagnosing this is my 4x4 wasn't engaging and my ABS light was on. So fingers crossed. I haven't fixed the ABS light yet, but I figured out the issue, so I'm going to take you through fixing it. And hopefully once I get the ABS issue sorted, it'll fix my 4x4. Usually those two go hand in hand. If the computer can't get a reading from the ABS, it won't engage the 4x4. So we'll jump right into the code that I was getting on this truck. First off, to scan the code, I'm using a Top-Don Pro Scan. Quite a handy tool. I'll put a link to it in the description below. I'd highly recommend one of these if you're kind of getting into cars and diagnostics. It really wasn't that much, like 150 Canadian, so probably like 110, 120 USD, and it gives you so much feature. So you have the Bluetooth adapter there, and then I downloaded the Nissan map on my phone, by the way, too, so you don't need a whole separate tablet. Auto select, read VIN. Okay, so it read our VIN there, confirm, 2007 Nissan Titan, that's correct. And then if we go to auto scan, it'll scan all the modules, but we'll just go right to the ABS. So if I read diagnostic trouble codes in the ABS module, I'm getting a C1101 right rear sensor current. So another thing we can do to confirm our right rear sensor is not working, if we go to data stream, all signals. Right now I have the truck lifted off the ground so the tires are not touching the ground. And so we have front left-hand sensor, front right-hand. So if we do our two rear sensors there, I'm going to put it in gear. Like I said, the wheels are off the ground. Just slowly let it spin. So already I'm getting a rear left-hand sensor. I'm getting it's 14 miles per hour, but I'm getting no signal from the rear right-hand sensor. So let's lift up the truck and take a look what's going on underneath. So it's a good rule of thumb before you replace, here's our suspect sensor. Then here's the sensor on the left-hand side. It's a good rule of thumb before you replace a sensor to check for power and ground at the plug. So I wanted to check on the left-hand side, just use that as a reference. The plug was kind of tucked up here, so I just slid it out of its clip, and then we can undo it. I'll undo that in a sec. And then same thing here. This is the right hand. This is our sensor that's giving us questions. So same thing, slipped out of the clip, I'll unplug it. All right, so once we're unplugged, I checked my left sensor as a reference. And if you're looking at the face of the plug with the clip on top, the left side was ground. I believe I have to double check that. Right side was power. But regardless, I just got a little probe kit on Amazon and then a multimeter. Yeah, so I just hooked up the lines to the multimeter, to the probes there. So right now I'm on the DC voltage, and then this is 200 millivolts, 2000 millivolts, and then 20 volts. And I'm reading 11.84 volts at that sensor plug. So that's my known good plug. So that's what this plug should read. But the problem was when I'm probed into this plug, by the way, I forgot to mention earlier, the key, right now I have the power on the truck and then I have it on a battery charger so I don't kill the battery. So anyway, with the key on, I'm now reading 0 volts on this right plug. So my issue is actually I don't have power at that plug. It's not so much the sensor. So I checked the ground side of my plug to determine if my issue was on the ground or power. And I was correct that the ground is on the left when you have the clip on the top of the plug there. So right now I'm probed into the left side, the ground of my known bad plug. And then I'm plugged into the right side, the power of my known good plug, and I'm getting power. So that means the ground side is okay on this plug, and I have an issue with the power side, which is the right side. So it's quite common for these plugs to corrode right where they go, or the wires to corrode right where they go into the plug. So I was looking around and it kind of was like a little, I could see some stuff chafing there, maybe a little corrosion. This little probe kit I got also came with a attachment to pierce the wire. So I pierced the wire right above my suspected corrosion point. Using the good ground, I'd get the same reading if I use the ground here, but I already confirmed the ground. I now have 11.78 volts. So that tells me that there's corrosion at the plug there, so it's not getting full power. So to repair it, I got the same plug-in from a parts car, and I'm gonna trim this wire up. I'll probably trim it right there, just past, like I was probing right there. So there's just a little bit of corrosion at the plug. So I was probing right there, and I was able to get a reading. So I'm gonna trim it just above, solder this in with these quick solder connections. I'll put a link to these down below as well. These are amazing. I'll show you once the job's done. Okay, so these connectors are really great because you just strip back both wires, and then it has a little bit of solder in the middle there. Then the two red stripes are sealant. So I just use kind of these old school heat guns that get really hot and just hold it right on the solder. Yeah, once I see the solder start to melt there, how it's flowing down, so then I go and I just seal in that red sealant, just kind of wait till that's all melted. Do the same thing on the top. So yeah, that's all melted. And just like that, the wire is perfectly soldered and sealed together, so no water, no moisture will get into that connection. So I'm gonna just electrical tape everything together to further waterproof it, and then let's plug it in, go back to the truck, clear our codes, and see if we fix the problem. I cleared our ABS codes. Then I went back to our data stream, did that same test with the truck and drive, and you can already see our right sensor working, so that's awesome. So that fixed our problem. And better yet, our four-wheel drive now works too. You hear it switch there, put it in drive, look at our data stream. Now all four tires are working. So that was an easy fix. All right guys, hopefully you found that video helpful. Yeah, always remember, if you're getting a code before throwing a sensor at it, to check for power and ground, and that's what led me towards that bad plug. Hopefully you learned a thing or two, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and especially subscribe. That'd be much appreciated, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks guys.